So here we are in the Sidewinder again. I've now gone out to another system. I picked up the fuel tank I needed, fitted it, completed the upgrades. I've now travelled out to another system again from there, and we're doing it with operational testing. So I'm just taking it out in the field, trying out the ship in more of a real life situation, see how it performs in action. My plan for this ship is to use it as an alternative ship to come and mainly raid settlements with, but it can have other uses too. Particularly the fact that the SRV I had stored is the Scarab type SRV, which is a general purpose scientific discovery one rather than the combat focused Scorpion. So we're just going out to a planet now, and I'm going to go and do some material gathering. I've been to a settlement, done it over, ship performed fine. To be honest, as far as the ship's concerned, for that role, as long as I can get there and back without having issues, it's fine. Pretty much any ship can do it. The one advantage the Sidewinder has over all the other ships, of course, is it's so small. Being the smallest ship in the game, it can land anywhere. There's almost nowhere you can't land it. Useful to note there's another outpost the other side of this moon. Very useful to note. I'll be going there when I return. And I am simply too close to the... Okay. So we're going to go down to the surface and gather some materials. While I was doing the engineering yesterday, I noted that although I managed to get all the manufactured materials and data that I needed, I was getting rather low on the raw materials. Now the only way to gather raw materials is surface prospecting, so that's what we're going to do a bit of today. We also get a look over the Sidewinder. This is the very first ship that you get as a brand new player in this game. So a new player, completely new at all, would start off with one of these. The ship everyone starts with. You don't get a choice. Most people, once they've got a bit of experience, get out of this ship and don't really look back. As mine was sitting in a hangar, I thought, let's make use of it. They're fine for a new player starting out, as a trainer if you like. They're limited, being so small, very limited slots, limited configuration ability. But the design's a multi-role ship to do a bit of everything, so good introduction to the game. They are the third most manoeuvrable ship in the game, allegedly. I don't know what the other two were that are better. They are very manoeuvrable though. And as you can see, the all-round visibility, at least upwards, is very, very good. Full panoramic cockpit. You can see right the way around 180 as well. Only 2 weapon hardpoints, but you know, it's a starter ship. Quite an interesting little interior, as you can see. Made by Faulcon DeLacey, creators of many other ships such as the Crate, the Python, the Anaconda. None of which this particular commander owns, but on my main account I've got one of those. As you can see, we can pretty much do pretty aerobatic these Sidewinders. Not particularly fast. Again, I haven't upgraded the engines on it. Because it's so limited in its capability, I've got to manage to fuel the power source. My goal was to get the jump range up as high as I could and try and fit an SRV, which is quite a squeeze of one of these to do that, but I managed to do it. Now we're going to take a look over the ship. This is the interior. I'm not sure what's in that box. Little book there, look, space something or other, training manual. I can't quite read what it says. Yeah, 2 of the stars. There are 3 stars in the system. There's 2 of them. Third one's a long way from those. Not sure what those 3 pointy things are. All Faulcon DeLacey ships seem to have those. But as you can see, a really good view all round. Screen pipe of some sort. Quite a kind of nice interior, really. A bit kind of prototype-ish. But this is the cheapest ship they make. You've got to forgive them a bit for that. At this price point, you can't expect to do too much. Stealthy black paint job in line with the other ship, the Cobra. Laser doesn't stand out when I arrive at a settlement. Let's get up on top. Have a little look round. Except there's not a awful lot to walk about on, as you can see. Just give you an idea just how small a Sidewinder is. They are tiny ships. I would venture not much bigger than a ship-launched fighter, but even the Eagle is slightly larger than one of these. But look at the cockpit. See how far back the canopy goes? Very useful if you get into any kind of combat situation. Yes, people do have use them for that. Limited, obviously, but pick your battles. You can do a little bit of trading with them. They don't carry a lot of cargo because they're so small. The spindly little landing gear makes me laugh, but the ship's so light it doesn't need any more than that. Yeah, I have to crouch down to get underneath it. There's the cargo hatch, where the SRV bay drops out of. I mean, it's not a great deal to see under there, but blue cylinder's the hologram where you're bored. No, I don't understand either, but it's just how the game works. Okay, let's drop the SRV. I'm going to go and find some materials.
No gravity warning.
Bang. Caught the ship shield there. There's not a lot of clearance under a Sidewinder to get out with an SRV. It's pretty tight. Yeah, the landing gear does lift up a bit higher with the SRVs deployed, even though it's still a very tight squeeze. Okay, what we're going to do now, following the wave scanner in front of me. So ahead of the radar display. Lose control, that's it. That's what happens when you get a bit too ambitious. This is a Scarab SRV, it's the previous type to the Scorpion. It's useful primarily for scientific and exploration activity. The SRV Scorpion is aimed more at combat situations and tactical situations where you're going to get shot at. This is not. You can do a little bit of battle in it. Just checking that my cargo hatch is actually enabled. It is.
Cargo scoop deployed.
What I've done is I've followed the wave scanner. Notice the sweeping display by the front there. And the orange dots are signals bouncing off of, in this case, geological features. When I get a signal that indicates there's some kind of raw material there, I follow it. It leads me to the deposit of materials. You then shoot the, usually a rock of some kind, shoot it, explode it. Pieces of material come out and just hoover them up. Got some iron, some carbon, and find some phosphorus. They're common materials, but I do use them. I'm going to dismiss the ship because it doesn't need to sit there waiting for me. I'm going to be driving a long way looking for materials, and I'll just recall the ship to wherever I am when I'm finished. If I drive more than 2 kilometres in the ship, it'll automatically dismiss itself to orbit anyway. The ship will go up to orbit, float about, fly around in orbit until I recall it. I'll recall it to wherever I am when I'm done. Terrain is getting rougher, a little bit harder to traverse. You note the signal is spread right across the display, but as I get closer to the origin of that signal, just checking the ship has actually gone. It seems to be taking a bit longer than usual to leave, but it has gone. As I get closer to the source of the signal, those orange flashes will become less spread out across the display. They'll contract and focus a bit more in as I get closer. Give me more of a direction. Right now, as long as I'm still looking at them, they're not scrolling off the display. I'm going the right direction. If I deviate from this course, the display will change as I turn away from the signal. When it's a bit flatter, I can go a bit faster. I'm still quite some way from it because it's spread right across the display still. It's just sort of moving more towards the right. Get a stronger signal towards the right, so I'm now going to turn towards it. And it's starting to focus more towards the right again. As I get closer, it's focusing in, tightening up. It's going that way. The long lines are mostly noise and interference, and I have a source on the radar. There we go. Bronzite chondrite is a type of rock containing something useful to me. Find what it is, I'll find out when I get there. And of course they aren't located in nice smooth areas, they're always the rough areas where it's harder to travel. Phosphorus. I've been using this material recently. Used for engineering, used for synthesizing materials for the SRV, such as fuel, heat sinks, munitions. What I like to do is go and acquire a load of it. Go and find a whole load of raw material so I don't have to do any more for a while. And then I need some more, I'll go out and look for some more. It can be quite relaxing prospecting on a planet for this stuff as long as you're finding things. It gets very frustrating when you're not finding anything. You make a judgment call whether to give up and leave or try somewhere else or to persevere. See if you do find anything. This is a high metal world. Pristine reserves, so there should be plenty here. Indeed, I do find quite a lot here. There's another one. The sound accompanying the signal gives me an idea of what I'm actually picking up. It does change depending on what it's actually finding. Geological deposits are the sort of ticking sound that we get now. I can't see it. Must be, oh, there it is. Sulfur, phosphorus, iron, yeah. Common materials, but I do actually need them. Been using quite a lot of iron recently. Just drop the cargo scoop, drive over the material released, and pick it up.
Cargo scoop retracted.
Now I'm getting the signal again in this direction. Narrowing down. Slightly different sound this time. Slightly higher pitch. Nope, maybe not. It's not the bronzite chondrite. Thought it was something a little bit different, but it isn't. First before, shoot it, blow it up. Nickel, useful stuff.
Cargo scoop deployed.
Not particularly valuable, but useful. Don't forget you can also trade materials as well at the material trader. I've got to be careful here. If I run over the material and damage it or break it apart, I'll destroy it. That could be quite valuable stuff, so when I say valuable, I don't mean I could sell it, but valuable is rare, hard to find, use of some engineering process I want to do. Well, you can. There are raw material traders, but you can only barter what you've got. If all you've got is low value stuff like iron, you're not going to be able to get anything higher value or rarer. If you've got high value material, you can trade down the things you need. That's just noise. Now I'm getting a blank wave scanner, which is not good. What I do is get a bit of distance away from here. And do some and have some fun. No, that's not going to work. Enough prattling about, let's do something. Right, I'm just trying to find a signal now, so we're turning different directions to try and get a signal. There's something very, very faint there. Sometimes those faint signals develop into something more, sometimes they don't. Very faint. It's just... The jet thrusters have many uses, one of them being to clear rough terrain or difficult terrain that might get me stuck. Make it a bit easier. Oof. Thrusters on the wheels are actually to keep the SRV on the ground in low gravity. I just caught a rock there. Way, over we go. Ooh, nice landing. Okay, but have fun. Let's go and find some more material. It's quite a distance away, you can tell by the signal, it's a very faint signal, but it is getting stronger. This is a quick way to lose control. Oh, look, I've got an SRV left at this rate. Okay. Yeah, 83% hull. I took some hull damage there doing that. At that kind of speed, doesn't take a lot to lose control. Especially in low gravity. There we go. Scarabs are pretty tough though. The abuse I've just given it. Any damage to the SRV is repaired automatically when I dock with the ship. Not that that's much help when we're out here, but anyway. The signal's got stronger. I've had to drive quite a few kilometres from where I was to get this far, so now we've got an outcrop, okay. Usually a slightly different material comes out of those. Just trying to get over some of this really rough terrain here. Now what have we got? Nickel, okay.
Cargo scoop deployed.
Not what I was hoping for, but it'll do. What's that? Nickel. I can always use it, so... But as you can see, sometimes the terrain makes it very hard to collect the materials. Very difficult. It's very, very rough around here. Very rocky. Oh, what the hell is right behind a rock? Oh, I'm going to get stuck. No, I'm not. God. I've got to be careful not to run over the material and destroy it, though. With the tyres, especially if it's two materials are quite close to each other, I can run the tyres over it and grind it into nothing. Don't want to grind it into dust. Iron, what's that? More iron. It's iron I do need actually, I'm running low on it, so more iron. Oh, and there's some more signals.
Retracted.
Another signal, fairly strong signal over here. Just going to see what that is. Ooh! Now I've got a different type of signal. That's a different sound. That's a metallic signal. I like the sound of this. Now, if a signal is showing at the lower part of the wave scanner, or this one is here, it's a geological or natural feature. If it's higher up the screen, it's not. It's something entirely different. It all depends what you're finding. This, mind you, the terrain makes it hard to sort of stay focused. Sort of right. Oh, nice. That's a metallic type of rock. It's got something usually rather more interesting materials in there than plain old sulphur and iron. Useful though they are. Be interesting to see what's in this. I'll get close enough to see it. Terrain's getting rougher as I get closer to it. Ah, there it is. I can't really. I used to use a turret. Tin. Tin's actually quite valuable, quite rare, particularly useful at the material trader because I can trade tin for quite a lot of things that I might need. Again, take it steady, don't want to damage the other materials because they're sort of right, it's normally tin, they give us some better, rarer materials. What's over here? Selenium, oh nice. That is pretty rare. Mercury, oh my god, it's like Christmas. I've struck gold, well literally, but you know. It's that nickel. I've done rather well out of that. I'm glad I persevered. What's this? Another metallic signal. The metallic signal is always more interesting than the normal rock ones. I'll always follow a metallic signal because instead I find the higher grade materials. The more I hear that sound, the more excited I get as I get closer to it. It's what you really want to be hearing and seeing when you're looking for materials. Should appear on the radar shortly. There's metallic meteorite, nice. There you know there's going to be something good in there. Oh, there it is. Ooh, antimony. That's one of the rarest materials in the game. It's grade 4, which is like really rare, but it's just so hard to find. It's like monkey dust, this stuff. You just don't find it. Really hard stuff to find. I'm not sure what it's used for, I can't remember now. Sort of thing you have to go to a material trader for and just barter whatever you have got. Sulfur. And I always use sulfur. Sulfur and phosphorus are ingredients for SRV fuel, so it's one of the main uses of them. Tin. Again, useful. Be careful by tying up a bit of material so don't destroy it. Vanadium. Useful, not particularly high value, but useful. Right, I think then that will do now. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go find somewhere flat where the ship can land. There's no more signals anywhere. I'll just drive around to check. Faint noise, but nothing particularly exciting. That's just noise and background sounds. This looks flat enough to land the ship. Let's recall, wait for it here. Ship will come back down from orbit. I get on board and we can leave. Takes about a minute usually for the ship to come back down. Now while it should land somewhere near where it will land somewhere near where I am, it's impossible to predict exactly where because the auto landing feature will pick places almost at random, it seems. I can hear it, but I can't see it. It's behind me. Coming down behind me. Choose the turret. There it is. Why is it landing over there? So, see, it's just random, it seems, where ships land when you do this. Anyway, it's here. Let's get back to it. Maybe the different sound from the wave scanner is picking up and also notice it's taking up the whole screen, not just the bottom part. Large metallic object. And a different sound again. Just got to get a position so I can get underneath, and it's quite a tight fit under a Sidewinder, and on uneven ground even more so. I'm actually got under this time. Let's get on board. Right, let's go to that outpost I saw right next to this moon. It's nice and close, it's a very short flight. Let's get a tyre track to the SRV where I've been driving around. We've done pretty well here, I found quite a lot of material, so I'd have to do that for a long time. Just visible over the horizon. Not high enough. A bit higher and try again. just sort of sit back as we slowly accelerate away from the moon, out of the gravity field. I'm going up at almost 90 degrees to get maximum elevation in minimum time. But obviously I'm going up against gravity, so even as low gravity body, it's still going to take a bit of time. We're travelling quite slowly at this point, but we accelerate as we get further away. As you get further away from the body, the gravity obviously reduces, and the resistance therefore reduces with it. So we gain speed. And that will increase exponentially as we rise. So you can notice the speed display to the top right of my radar. Okay, we're out of the gravity field now. Mostly. Beyond registration of the instruments anyway. And as you can see, we're only 4 megameters away from the station. It's a very short flight. Dropping out of Super Cruise now. I've got to get within range to request docking. Now this ship, because it's so small and so limited in outfitting capability, I've had to remove the docking computer, so it doesn't even have that option. As a primarily military vessel in this role, it's not really essential anyway. But to fit what I have into a Sidewinder, you've got to take almost everything else out. Not sure what those two are up to there. The messages are cryptic, but not my problem. I'm going to try and get an external camera view of the landing, but I'm not sure how successful it will be. Okay, the landing pad is directly ahead of me. Sidewinder is a small ship. There's a small landing pad. It's the different pad to before. Previous videos. I was flying medium ship, use pad number 3. To the left there of our own. These outposts normally have 2 small landing pads and 1 medium. It's the usual setup. Trying to do this from an external view it's actually harder doing it from a cockpit, so not every ship has downward visibility from a cockpit. Sidewinder is not one of them, so you've got to try and get lined up as you can and then kind of fly almost blind as you go down. Come down too fast. Now I cannot see the display, so I'm going to have to go inside to have a look because I just cannot see it from out here. Okay, blue line shows I'm lined up that way. I'll go forward to the intersect. The whole circle turns blue. Circles turn blue, I'm in position. Just got to go straight down from there, now drifting off course. And we're on.
Engines disengaged.
May try it again with this view next time, but it's even harder if you can't see the pad as you approach it. And we're done.